El Toro is one of the most loved coasters in the world. Some people complain about some parts of it, but El Toro is easily one of the best wooden coasters out there. It is a truly elite coaster, and people come all the way across the country just to ride it and just to visit Great Adventure. Great Adventure had a tough year. Without a doubt, we saw log flume flip over and 2 people become injured, as well as we of course saw El Toro derail at the end of June. Now, I'm not going to talk about too much what had happened, because I'm sure you guys have seen many videos about it detailing exactly what went down, but basically the back car of El Toro derailed about at the point next to the station. It then continued to traverse the course until right at the end when it valleyed on the last hill, resulting in the picture that you see here. Of course, the people were evacuated. Thankfully, no one was hurt, so that was great. And immediately the ride was shut down for the day. Now let's talk about what happened afterwards. So the park red flagged it. This means that it's up for review by the state, and that's going to take a long time. So a question that people have been asking ever since it was closed down was, when is it going to reopen? People have already scheduled trips all the way down at Great Adventure just to ride this, and the fact that it's closed makes many of them upset. It makes them want to know when it will reopen. I think the fact that it's red flagged is a really not good sign for it. I think it's going to reopen in about a year from now. I don't see that in any way that this ride will open before the end of this season, just because of the extensive reviews that the park and state needs to complete in order to reopen the ride. I think Great Adventure is going to lose a lot of attendance, a lot of money. Personally, I've seen the park be absolutely dead after the ride was shut down. People are just less willing to go to the park. So they're going to lose a lot of money. They're going to be trying to get it as soon as possible to reopen, but I just don't think it's going to happen in a timely manner. I think it'll take about a year. Now, with that being said, I think we're lucky with that year, actually. If anyone was hurt, if anyone got any sort of damage to them, it would have been a lot worse, and El Toro's future would be severely in jeopardy. People would question if it will ever reopen rather than when it will reopen, and that is why it's so great that I think that it is going to reopen, in my opinion. Spokespeople of the park have continuously said that the safety mechanisms of the ride worked. Sure, it derailed, but the defense mechanism against it derailing and causing severe damages actually functioned in the long run. In addition to that, what we saw Six Flags Great Adventure do is actually replace and take out that piece of track that the ride was sitting on. I'm sure this was actually just to get the car off, but the car is off of the track and the red car is sitting in the station. So with that being said, now that we've kind of talked about what has happened and what immediately happened after the events, let's talk about the future of this amazing coaster. Now, if you didn't know, RMC, before they was really known as RMC, did a lot of track work on a lot of different coasters, especially the major and large ones. If you didn't know, RMC actually did the physical construction of the track work on this ride. RMC just worked the Great Adventure a year or two ago with the Jersey Devil coaster, and RMC's actually been spotted in the park recently, just walking throughout the park. Now, I don't want to talk too early on things or jump to conclusions, but I do see it as a possibility that RMC does some sort of track work on El Toro. I don't think they'll give it their classic Iron Horse treatment and give it 3 inversions or whatever they'll do, but I think that it is a possibility that they do some track work on some of the areas that were A, rough, or B, that caused the derailing incident. Maybe this does include their topper track, but I really doubt that Great Adventure wants to convert it to a hybrid just because of the awards and recognition they get from El Toro being just a regular wooden coaster. I do think it's a good possibility, and I think that if RMC could do some work on a lot of those rough spots, a lot of people would like it a lot more. People were complaining about that it was getting rough over the years. Personally, I don't agree with that, but I'm sure if RMC did some retracking work, it would be absolutely amazing for it, and it would significantly improve. Now, other options I see for the park for this ride is just simply reopening it. they can pull a classic Six Flags and just kind of ignore it and not really say too much about it and just put the track back together, put the cars back together, and go back to business. I just don't see this happening realistically, just because of the logistics of the review by the state. This has gone so far above their heads at this point that if the state says that they need to, say, redo the track, they will have to redo the track. It's not really up to Grade of Entry at this point, in my opinion, so I don't think that it's an option for them to be lazy and kind of do their normal, cheapest way out option. As I'm sure you may know, the park has not really released any information as to the cause of what happened, so we may not know how they're going to go about changing it in the future. However, assuming that it was actually caused by faulty trains, I don't think this train will operate in the future, and we're just going to see either operate on one train ops for the short term, or them buy a new train and give it a new theme. Personally, I vastly prefer the brown train that did derail, so I am upset that it is of course getting removed, but I think that at the worst case, we're going to see them run one train ops for a little bit before they either can repair and fix the cause of the issue or find the cause of the issue. Because if they don't even know what the cause is, then they really can't do anything, and they can't really continue to open and operate the ride until they can figure out what had happened and why it happened. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's video and a little bit of talk about El Toro and its future. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen to El Toro in the future, and let me know what you think about their derailing. I'll see you guys next time.